What's going on, guys? Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web, and today for you guys I want to get into the prize highlights. So let's talk about these prize highlights, guys. So first we have our Leaderboard Legendary here, who he looks pretty clean. I think his sprite is pretty nice. It's pretty cool looking. I'm not even going to make an attempt at that extremely lengthy name of his. We just gonna call him G. So let's break G down here real quick. It's pretty obvious that he's going to be a fire champ. Don't need no leaderboard pieces to tell you that. Looks just like a fire champ. So his stats off the edge are already here and posted for us. 10,583 HP, 12,338 attack, 8,566 defense, 1,213 wisdom, and 1,469 agility. Hold fast, all elite. New skill there, of course. Cooldown of 2 at max self-use, or 2 for 3 self-use rather. And it is attack based, so digs deep into the attack to leave all enemies shaken. Just a quick skill preview here. See how it looks? That's pretty much the gist of it. So that digs deep into the attack kind of makes me think that this guy's going to have a high multiplier, but I could just be talking out of my neck. You know, DNA, they kind of just, you know, they throw curveballs at you like that. But he looks pretty cool, and he's a very powerful champ. Very powerful champ. 2 cooldown, which is basically the minimum or the most acceptable it would get. How am I trying to word this? Basically, anything worse than a 2 cooldown, and this guy would be getting thrown in the trash, is what I'm trying to say. I personally don't care what it is. If the cooldown is longer than 2, I am not using it. It is going away. So this guy's, his cooldown is like borderline, but he'll be all right because he's a pretty powerful champ. He'll definitely be able to take a lot of hits. Definitely. So definitely a good champ, guys. If you are going to be heavy on the leaderboard this time around, push hard and try to get this guy. He will definitely be worth it, and I'm sure he's going to be selling for a nice number of bidders. Moving on to our permanency prize for the first half of the mob raid event, we got Nabu Zar Adan. So undead dragon looking guy here. He looks okay. I think his sprite's pretty cool as well. So let's break Nabu down. Nabu is going to be a air guru. Stats off of the edge here: 1986 HP, 1396 attack, 901 defense, 5,717 wisdom, and 5,445 agility, with a total stat base of 15,445. I forgot to mention too, the Leaderboard Legendary's total stat base is 34,169. Just wanted to mention that. So Nabu here, new skill, Scry All Adept. Has a cooldown of 1. It doesn't show a symbol here, but I'm guessing it's going to be wisdom based attacks here. So deals out Thwart All or Gale All as the crystal commands. So big ups to DNA for straight up throwing into the description what the skill does. So it is a random skill that has a chance of either proccing Thwart All or Gale All. Tells you right there, which is lovely. So the turns that he proc Thwart All is definitely going to be great, because that is just the ultimate skill there. Very good skill. Thwart All, very powerful stuff. Gale All, Gale All. Thwart All has priority, and it usually has a pretty decent multiplier. So that is going to be really strong. Probably going to have to superfuse this guy with some wisdom in order to make it even stronger. But Gale All has no priority, and yeah, multiplier probably isn't great, and blah blah blah. So this guy's up in the air. If he procs Thwart All often enough, he can be pretty good. But that's the thing, he's random. So if he goes on a Gale All streak and doesn't proc Thwart All, it's not going to be looking too good. But I still think he's a pretty decent fighter. Definitely a decent fighter in my opinion. I don't think he's horrible. But it's up to you. I think he's definitely usable. You may need to get more than one, but I think he can be rotated and maybe dungeon or something like that and turn out to be pretty effective. But in the case of those who may not want to keep this guy, you can use him for superfuse fodder for either either wisdom or agility. And if you do so, you would get 686 wisdom or 653 agility. So the choice is yours, guys. Whatever you want to do with him, but I don't think he's that bad of a fighter, honestly. As long as he doesn't go on a Gale All streak, that'll be bad. And primacy prize for the second half of the event here, Insane Gale or Insangel, however you want to say that there. Two-headed dragon here, looks like fire and ice, wind and ice, however you want to do it there. So yeah, there's no telling what element this guy could be here. Honestly, he could be fire, he could probably be air. Who knows which one they're going to go with. You can definitely count on being one of those types, though, judging by the look of the sprite. So let's break this guy down, or Insangel down here real quick. Stats off of the edge: 2,339 HP, 5,444 attack, 1,187 defense, 5,166 wisdom, and 1,574 agility, for a total stat base of 15,710. So Insangel definitely looking like a warlock. Deceive, elite, new random skill here. Looks like single target skills, deals out gust or scorch all on a whim. Has a cooldown of 2, which is on a single target skill. That's not really preferred, honestly. That's not good news right there. So honestly, this guy is probably going to end up being straight up superfuse fodder. And if you decide to use it in that way, you can get 653 attack or 619, I think. 619 wisdom, somewhere in the vicinity of 619 wisdom if you use them for superfuse fodder for that. And that's basically it about this unit, guys. It's just not really that great, not good news at all. So yeah, and then the main creme de la creme here is going to be our Paragon. So let's check out the skill real quick. Really ugly thing there, honestly. So me personally, I think this thing is horribly ugly. I think it is just terrible looking. But let's break it down anyway. Can't leave it out just because it's ugly. So Promethea is going to be a Earth Warlock. Stats off of the edge: 4,582 HP, 5,775 attack, 1,515 defense, 5,269 wisdom, and 1,008 agility, for a total stat base of 18,149. So new skill here, Virago, however you want to say it. Elite, cooldown of 1. No sign there. My guess is that it's wisdom based because it says magical skill right there in the description. Rank 3 magical skill. Deals a deadly kiss to one foe. Chance of a critical hit. So I've came across some other buddies who play the game also who already have this Paragon, and basically what they've been telling me is that this Paragon is hitting for close to 200%, man. Close to 200% of its wisdom for the damage of this skill here, Virago Elite. And they've been telling me when they get a critical hit, it's been somewhere in the vicinity of 250 to 400%. So yeah, definitely pretty strong there. Really strong stuff. It hits hard. It definitely hits hard, that's for sure. So although it is ugly, it is a very powerful wisdom based Paragon. Single target, chance for that critical hit, it can hit pretty tough. So you may want to keep it definitely for this event and a few more mob raid events after for the edge bonus. But after that, if you do not want to keep it any longer, you can use it for superfuse fodder. And if you do, you would want to either use it for attack, which you would get 693 of, or wisdom, which you would get 632 of. And that's basically it. So that's our prize highlights breakdown. Now let's go over and do a few comparisons here. I did not compare every fighter this event because some just weren't worth it. But we can definitely compare our Leaderboard Legendary. This event got a pretty decent comparison for that one. And the comparison for that one is going to be right here, Druaga. So, fighters are they're neck and neck, but after we break it down, you'll see that the slight edge is going to go to G, as I'm going to call him. So we know Druaga is an Earth champ here. So to get down into the stat difference between Druaga and G, Druaga has 174 more HP. G has 31 more attack. It also has 1,995 more defense. And that is the big factor between these two fighters, guys. G has a ton more defense, and that is significant when it comes to a champ fighter, guys. Druaga has 353 more wisdom, and Druaga also has 611 more agility, for a total stat difference between these two fighters of 888 going to G. So G is slightly better statistically, but it's that defense that just whew. Druaga has agility, which is nice. Druaga is the faster fighter, but that defense, it is imperative for a champ. Imperative to have that HP, that attack, and that defense. So because of that, in my opinion, the slight edge goes to G. But definitely don't knock Druaga. He is still a very powerful champ. Definitely a good and powerful champ there, guys. So it's just basically what you want to go to. Many are probably going to stick to Druaga because of the earth element. G being fire. Everyone's getting tired of fire, this and that and the other. So he may not be that popular, even though he's going to be a strong champ. We'll see, though. We'll see what happens. I personally will definitely still use G. Bump that fire junk everyone be talking about. He's still a very powerful unit. But so is Druaga, guys. Very close comparison here, but slight edge, my opinion, goes to G. We'll have to see the multiplier on them, though. That's definitely important. We don't know G's multiplier yet because no one has the legendary form. But if the multiplier is looking good, G is definitely going to be the more powerful fighter. We're not going to compare Nabu because he's some random skill type stuff. We don't really have nothing that can match up to that at this point. Neither are we going to compare Insangel because of the same story. That random skill kind of throws everything off, makes it a little bit different. But we can compare Promethea. And who I decided to compare Promethea to is going to be let me just find them here real quick. Bingo, right here. We're going to compare them to Nimsha. So these fighters are slightly different, but statistically and they're somewhat similar, and also they're both paragons, which is another reason I decided it was a nice comparison. So difference between these two fighters here: Promethea 325 more HP, Nimsha 196 more attack, Promethea 213 more defense, Promethea 1452 more wisdom, and Nimsha 720 more agility, for a total stat difference of 1074 between these two fighters. So basically this thing boils down to more of preference than anything, guys, and here's why. So both are wisdom based attacks. So Promethea has Virago, which deals pretty heavy damage already, but has a chance to hit with a critical hit, while Nimsha, he has a really high multiplier as well. I'm not certain, but I think it's creeping up on 200% as well. Very strong, maybe a little bit lower. I don't know the exact multiplier for it, but I know it's really strong. At least 180, I'm guessing. But the thing is, his is a double skill, so he increases his own wisdom because he illumines himself. So his gets stronger every time he procs, up to a maximum of 5, of course. So Nimsha can get really strong, where Virago you are going to have to depend on Illume All or using the book gear Mazit Yui in order to, or something along those lines, in order to get that wisdom up. Is basically the only way it's going to happen, guys. So it's basically your preference. Do you want to deal with Nimsha, who is definitely going to increase its own wisdom, or do you want to use Promethea and rely on others in order to increase her wisdom to make her that much more powerful? That's basically the bottom line. I'm pretty sure after enough illumes, self-illumes, Nimsha will become stronger. I don't know if it'll be stronger than Promethea's critical hit, but it'll still be pretty strong stuff. We just don't know yet. We'll have to do a lot of comparisons. One last thing I wanted to talk about before I wrap this video up, guys. I don't know if it's in there anymore. Let me go check my points prizes real quick. Nope, it's not in here anymore. So maybe I can just go show it to you. Probably in my cash by now. Hopefully it's not too far now. I got a lot of cash here. Probably be easier to, yeah, let's go to fighters. Be easier to do it this way. Right here. You see this fighter here? Eadneth here. That is a points prize that's kind of snuck in here. He's not in our prize highlights menu, but I'm pretty sure he is a new fighter. It is a recolor of Foam Cross, I believe. This one here, Eadneth. So yeah, no one's really gonna be able to get a 5 of 5 of this guy until after the event, because I think they only give you just enough in order to make one epic from points prizes. So yeah, that's another fighter that snuck in here, guys, but not really gonna know the max stats. All I know is that it's Smash All, I believe the skill is, so that usually depicts Superfuse fodder, guys. Honestly, probably all this guy's gonna be. So be on the lookout for him. Maybe after the event, he may end up being good Superfuse fodder, but we don't know the max stats because no one can get it to level 80 until after the event. So there we have it, guys. Our prize highlights for the Promethea Rising Mob Raid event. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please continue to like, subscribe, favorite, share, comment, and everything else. And I'll be back at your screen with more Defender of Texel soon, guys. Later.